Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored this week by Spiegel Law PC 5168-731-683 and by Tiffany Dry Cleaners, our friends at I&D Glot Market, and our newest sponsor, Riesterer's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan. And hey, Norm, what's cooking?
It's a rainy Wednesday, but there's been a lot of action at the education side of town.
Yeah, we're getting close to Election Day, which is on May 21st. Yesterday, we were at the secondary school. We first interviewed Karen Brom and Brian Phillips, and then after that you had the candidate forum, which was sponsored by the PTA. You had Kirk Rockenzie versus Aaron Zelig for seat number 1, and then you had Andrea Shinsano and Rachel Kushner in seat number 2. The event was well attended, and everyone really got to hear what the candidates were all about. And there's just a lot of ground to cover, as you would expect.
Yeah, but what's nice about ECHO, and that's what we bring to the community, is that if you couldn't make it to this meeting and you really want to hear the skinny on what each of these individuals had to say, check out our website. We have a minute and a half to 2 minutes from each of the candidates. They'll tell you what they're thinking about.
Yeah, and it was just really exciting to see the community come out and to support all the candidates, and the energy was really good.
As it should be.
I don't know about that. I found it frankly a little bit dull.
Well, it's because you were sitting in the back. If you were sitting in the front, the energy was just so positive, and it just I managed to make it through the entire thing without falling asleep.
So there you go. I mean, look, I heard last night the candidates kind of repeating themselves more than once, and I understand they've all got sort of their key sound bites and the rest of it. I'm not sure that each individual candidate and their very laser focus on whatever was bugging them is necessarily how the audience should be thinking about this, because we want both financial sides and educational sides and all the other things that people are interested in. We're trying to get a nice big view of this.
Yeah,
and I think what people have to remember is these aren't professional politicians. They're not professional speakers. They try and get their points across. They're running for office, and you have to take it as it comes. It's just going to be what it is. You can make your own opinions based on what they say, and we've got it on tape.
I think the thing about it is, though, that everybody understands right now. We've got a couple things. We've been talking about it for weeks. All the stuff with enrollment and declining numbers, all these things with transportation costs and healthcare costs. And I think all of the candidates acknowledge the fact that we are struggling with these to one level or the other.
And the other thing is, this has been playing out on social media for the last few weeks, so I think I've been so oversaturated, with annoying people in the community yelling at each other. They're not changing anyone's minds, and that's part of the problem, where I felt, and maybe to Dan's point, that maybe 99% of the people who were there had already chosen, who they're going to be voting for, and they're not necessarily going to be swayed.
There are not going to be any magical bullets that are coming out of any of these meetings. I mean, we have problems that are systemic problems. We have transportation problems, we have budget problems, the things that need long-term planning, and nobody is coming to the fore with something that's going to fix everything that we're dealing with.
And and there is the demographic issues that are, or not issues, but there are the demographic divide that's within the community, and that also plays a role in how the vote turns out. And there's just a lot of dynamics. But I think, circling back to your point, we have the full interview of Karen and Brian on the website, and we're going to be posting that on Facebook as well. And we have all the shorts for the candidate forums, and there we go.
And the good news is, for those of you with anxiety, next month this will all be over.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, that depends on the budget passing, but I will say, and again, I will cut the wrench short this week. Please, 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 go out and vote. If you don't vote, we don't want to hear the complaints later. Turnout was not great last year, even for the second vote. It's time for people to come out and do their business.
Yeah, and Norm, with universal pre-K kind of front and center in West Hempstead, there was just an article today in Newsday that caught my eye about 10 Long Island districts that are getting state grants to expand their pre-K program. And within that, there was an $8.1 million award that was offered by the state education department Garden City got 2.4 million. And Malvern got 470,000, and Rockville Center got 360,000. So pretty much all the surrounding areas except for West Hempstead.
How's that possible?
I don't really know, and I'm not sure if this is an addition to or a starting point or where it is. But we need to follow up on that because, why would everyone else around us get, and why didn't we get?
And pre-K is super important. It's successful. The kids who make it through that program are really a step ahead of anybody else who hasn't been in pre-K. So, I hope we get that funding in place.
Yep. All right. So I think now is a great time for us to take a quick commercial break.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shout.
And we're back. So Norm, there was another headline about Hempstead Town School bus camera revenue hits $13 million in 2023. And, great for the coffers, but there's been a lot of buzz on social media as to whether or not the cameras are really being deployed fairly and accurately.
Right, so that is an issue. I mean, I love the idea that there are cameras on the buses. I think anybody that passes a bus with school children and doesn't stop with those flashing lights, they should lose their license, let alone be driving on a violation that they can pay off in 2 seconds. A one-time violation, okay, you can get away with that. But some people are complaining that they didn't pass the bus and they were photographed and they were charged.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I mean, if they have some technical problems, it needs to be straightened out.
Yeah, there's also been accounts of what people thought are like snap camera movements, meaning that the bus driver would just turn the red lights on really, really quickly to catch people in motion. Again, unsubstantiated, out there in social media, but a lot of people are fighting the tickets and they've actually won. So
there should be a delay between the time he flicks the switch and the car's pass. At least the amount of time one car can pass. I can see how somebody gets caught in that.
See, my concern with stuff like this is that it's not unusual for towns and cities to do some of these ticketing as revenue grabs. I'm not saying that the school bus things are, and I fully agree. If the stop sign comes out, you stop. But people are complaining, people are fighting, people are winning these tickets, and at a certain point, I guess the town's got to decide, is it worth the exercise enough? And they may decide it isn't.
Well, this money grab argument is made for everything from speeding all throughout the city of New York.
The city of New York. I hear that there was a proposal to move the speed limit down to 20 from 25. I mean, how about walking you're going to start getting ticketed for? I mean, this is, between the speed bumps and the tickets, it's like you can't even get around, even if the streets are clear.
I can't drive at 25 miles an hour. It doesn't work for me.
No, you just have like dollar bills like flying out of your window as you drive by. I just kind of imagine that.
I'd rather pay the fine than speed.
Listen, if they drop it down that low, people in walkers and wheelchairs are going to be passing you on the sidewalk.
They're doing that anyway in traffic in Manhattan.
Wow, crazy, crazy stuff. So, Norm, there was a very important item that took place in the community earlier this week called Boots for Israel, and you attended that.
I attended it with my grandchildren. So the idea behind this is that there are a number of soldiers that are really on duty for almost 6 months, wearing out boots. They didn't have enough boots in Israel to resupply the hundreds of thousands of guys who were rotating in and out of the Gaza war. And so there was a need. And one guy in Queens decided to start this program, and they've raised enough money for 50,000 boots. West Hempstead community donated enough money for 1,500 pairs of boots for the military. We packaged them with kids writing little notes for the soldiers inside the boots, and they went into duffel bags to be shipped out and will be worn by Israeli soldiers this weekend.
It's amazing.
Pretty amazing. And hundreds of people turned out.
And if you think of the total numbers, over $1.4 million that have been raised by over 3,000 people. Incredible cause.
Yeah, really great.
So this week is Blueberry Cheesecake Day at Riesterer's, and they have sales on the 3-inch blueberry cheesecakes, and also with Memorial Day coming up, there are patriotic sprinkle cookies. So lots of exciting things going on at Riesterer's, and wow. I mean, it's not doing wonders for my waistline, but it's super exciting.
His cheesecake is dangerous.
Yeah.
You really need a prescription. I think it's so good.
Well, you can't always go to West Hempstead Pharmacy. So I think that's...
Wait, are they a sponsor?
Not yet, but we're leading up into it. So I think that'll do it for this week in West Hempstead. I want to thank you, Norm. I want to thank you, Dan, and join us next week, and have a great weekend.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you would like to sponsor our program, Are You Listening, West Hempstead Pharmacy, much like Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, I&D, and Riester's Bakery, please reach out to us at sales@westhempsteadecho.com.
Welcome to I&D Glatt. We love our customers. We have the freshest produce. We have all the groceries you need. We have the best cuts of beef, veal, lamb, chicken for the best price. And of course, a bakery department with all fresh cookies, cakes, and freshest bakery item. And of course, with a takeout department with delicious food. If you need to place an order, do it online. We'll deliver it to you, or come into the store and shop. We can't wait to see you.